So scientifically, if two creatures can procreate and their offspring can procreate, then they are members of the same species. That's the quick and dirty definition. It gets more complicated, but it's what we're using here. So in fantasy settings where there are half orcs and half elves and half dragons and tieflings and all this crap, does that mean that they are all the same species? Well, first, you have to take magic out of the picture. Because, D&D is a magical world, and these creatures are magical creatures, so it could be the magic that's making the offspring viable. If magic is out of the picture, then maybe? Because here's the thing, we often see half-human, half-elves, and half-human, half-orcs. But do we often see half-elf, half-orcs? If all of these creatures can procreate and produce viable offspring in any combination, so we're talking drow dragons, merfolk goblins, half tabaxi, half whatever that weird turtle race is. If all of these races can procreate and all of their offspring can then go on to procreate, then yes, it means they're genetically similar enough to be the same species. Which would be really fucking weird. Now, it wouldn't be fair to call them all humans, kind of like how we don't call dogs wolves, but it would mean that they all evolved from the same genetic line. Now, here's the interesting thing. What if it wasn't the case that all these fantasy races could procreate, but just that they could all procreate with humans? If that's the case, if humans are the omnifucker, then that would point toward humans being the oldest evolutionary race. And dragons, elves, dwarves, tabaxi, so on and so forth, are recent evolutionary offshoots of them. Because they're still genetically similar enough to procreate from their progenitors, the humans, but not genetically similar enough to procreate with each other. But personally, my favorite interpretation is that we're all descended from dragons. First of all, because there are some D&D canons that say it, and everything does seem to be able to fuck and be fucked by a dragon. Plus, that means every Dungeons & Dragons game has both dungeons and dragons. It's just that you're the dragons. Although, when you think about how biologically compatible everyone is with mind flayers, actually maybe don't think about that.